Oh, whoop. Better turn the volume down on account of... Don't want to get hit with another copyright strike. So, what's new? Anything going on? Anything happened over the weekend? Yeah, I will answer your Lamont and Sinelli related questions to the best of my ability. But ultimately, let's just talk about the elephant in the room, right? This is the nature of radio. When I first got into radio, somebody told me, you haven't worked in radio until you've been fired. And I was like, nah. But then, sure enough, KSJO flipped Spanish one day and I got fired. And it's, it wasn't even like I got fired. It was just that this job that I had disappeared. So that's just the nature of radio. And when you look at somebody like Tom Tolbert, Lamont, Tinelli, Lund, everybody that got let go last week, those guys hadn't been fired for a very, very, very long time. Same with me, right? I mean, I was fortunate enough to not get fired after 2004. I did quit at one point, which was kind of felt like a firing, but no, it wasn't. But still, nothing makes it easier, It is what it is. Every fiscal end of year, unless it's been a boom of a year, corporations are going to be doing fiscal cutbacks. And that's when they start looking for things and people that they can get rid of. And that's just what happened. When you make the biggest paycheck, you're the biggest target. And a lot of the times that's what has saved me, because this has happened year after year after year, every year, almost every year that I've worked for Cumulus. I'm pretty sure somebody got shit canned at the end of the fiscal year. And a lot of the times it wasn't me, and I wasn't nervous about it being me because I did not make enough money for anybody to be concerned with. I'm also just eating for the first time today, so you're going to be stuck having to watch me eat. Oh. So I know there was a big outpouring, shock, dismay at the loss of Lamont and Tinelli, and I think that's totally fair. We felt the same. We feel the same. We are still going through this, all of us, But in the interest of always looking for the silver lining, 1077 The Bone is still here. And that was not a given. We could have very easily been sold or flipped, and then who knows what would happen, right? Because that's how a lot of the firings used to happen. Back in 1996, they had this thing called the Communications Act that was passed by Congress and signed by Bill Clinton. And it allowed corporations to own, more stations in an individual market. For national security reasons, the number of radio stations owned by foreign entities and owned in a single market was considered a danger to national security to have one power own so many properties of communications. In part, that was because of the yellow journalism scandal of the late 1800s. And if you haven't looked that up, I got a history lesson for you. A handful of billionaires owned all the newspapers and controlled what the news media narrative was. And the U.S. ended up in the Spanish-American War. So that when radio was created in early 1900s. Oh, my Becca 101 teacher is going to be so mad at me for saying that. But anyway, when radio was invented and in turn regulated, that was one of the big concerns, because this is a powerful communications tool. Despite the fact that we have cell phones, despite the fact that we now have all these other methods of communication, radio is still one of the most powerful, unstoppable communication methods. And this is why we were also, when I say we, I mean the radio industry, are also fighting to keep AM radios still in cars. Because if World War III breaks out and the cell towers are all blown up by terrorists or whatever, if cell service goes down in your area, you can still receive emergency messages through your car stereo. And AM is mono. AM radio signals carry pretty much hundreds of miles if there's nothing in the way, like a mountain. So radio has always been like a, oh wait, I got a giveaway. So anyway, radio has always been kind of a thing that people want to control it because it's a national security thing and it's also a profit making thing. And God, I'm losing track, huh? I should have written this down. I should have had like an outline for the conversation. Are there comments and I'm just not seeing them? Because if literally no one has questions, I'll just keep going with the history lesson. But yeah, of the late 1800s, when there were just a handful of people controlling all of the news and the US ended up in the Spanish-American War, how do you think we stopped yellow journalism from happening? Oh my God, we didn't. The billionaires grew a conscience. And there were no corporations back then. So it was just like one guy. And when that one guy got Ebenezer Scrooged, he called up the other guy and was like, "Hey, we really fucked up. Can we fix this? Let's make a pact not to do this again." Well, obviously, now that corporations are people, thanks to the Citizens United decision, there's no way that Disney is going to call up um, Cumulus and be like, "Hey, you know what? We all really own way too many stations. Can we like sell off a few of these?" I'm trying to remember who owns. Is it like Disney that owns AT&T that owns like there's some everybody's just been gobbled up. So there's just a handful of properties left. It's crazy. It's like Monopoly, but with radio. I genuinely thought more people would want to have the explanation, but is there just no one around today? Because if not, I got some shit to do. I'm gonna like take winners and eat yogurt. All right, where was I? Huh. It's a weird day, isn't it? Hi, it's the bone. Your caller 1. Hi, it's the bone. Your caller 2. Hi, it's the bone. Your caller 3. Hi, it's the bone. Your caller 4. Hi, it's the bone. Your caller 5. Hi, it's the bone. Your caller 6. Hi, it's the bone. Hi, it's the bone. Your caller 7. Hi, it's the bone. Your caller 8. Hi, it's the bone. Your caller 9. Sorry, dude. That was close.
Close. Can I try again?
You can always try again. I'll be giving away the tickets again tomorrow. Hi, it's the bone. Who's this? Hi, Alan. Who is this? I can barely hear you.
Sorry, I'm on speaker. Shane, this is Shane from Birmingham.
Shane, like Shane? Shane, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Oh, hey, Shane. Have you won anything from the bone in the last 30 days?
No, I haven't. Not for the lack of trying.
Oh, what's your last name, Shane?
Howard. Howard.
All right, Shane, congratulations. I got a 4-pack of tickets for you to the Alameda County Fair in Pleasanton. What's your email address?
It's Awesome. Awesome. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, you got it, Shane. Congrats, man.
All right. Take care now.
You too. Cheers. All right. Did you hear his cute accent? Oh, it was adorable. Hey, Alan, are you tapping out already? What's up, Glenn? You got Merkins tickets from the back lounge? Nice. I saw Phil post that like there was going to be some Merkins tickets at the back lounge and get them while you can, and then it sold out. And then I heard there was like somebody trying to like scam people for tickets, but I saw what he posted and it looked to me like one of those bots. You know how the bots pop up when it comes to when you use the word ticket, actually. All posts that have to do with tickets will get hit by bots. Hey, I can't make it to the show. I want to sell my tickets. Do you know anybody who can DM me? And it's always a scam. It's crazy. So, other than the lesson in radio, what does everybody want to know? I'm talking to Zach Wild tomorrow. Does anybody have any questions for him? Zach Wild's Black Sabbath cover band, Zach Sabbath, is going to be at the oh, thanks, Alan. Zach Sabbath is going to be at the Regency in San Francisco with Zoso, the Led Zeppelin tribute band, and the Iron Maidens. If you haven't seen the Iron Maidens, the all-female Iron Maiden tribute band, they are killer. They used to be on well, they have been on the Monsters of Rock cruise, and I think they might be again. Hey, Lance, welcome, dude. Where's everybody been? Oh, I wonder if because I didn't do live streams last week for half the week, if I'm out of the algorithm, huh? Maybe it's not telling people that I'm on, or maybe people just don't feel like chatting. It's hard to tell. Hey, Drew, am I going to am I going to Zach Sabbath? Probably. Let me make sure I don't have something else that day. Wait, what was that? Oh, I tipped my Amazon, my Whole Foods grocery driver. I tipped him like $18 because I ordered like $175 worth of groceries because Whole Foods. And that fucker brought me rotted avocados, and I'm so pissed. And I'm like, how pissed am I? Am I pissed off enough to take these avocados back to Whole Foods and be like, listen, this is $6.42 that needs to come out of Homeboy's tip, or you need to give me some good avocados. But then that means I got to go home, get the avocados after work, and then go all the way over to Whole Foods, which kind of negates the fucking $9.95 fee for delivery and $18 tip, right? Like, why couldn't dude just like get me good avocados? Is that so hard to do? Hey, Pacho, ask Zach if he's going to record new Pantera material. Oh, most definitely. He's going to have to talk a lot about Pantera. You know what? I should just start writing this shit down now. Where's my notepad? Because Laura knows I'm talking to him tomorrow at like 11 in the morning, which for me is early. Hi, Chew. Hey, James, what's happening, man? Pete, in the morning right now, we have Chasta and Baby Huey. So half the morning show is still here, and they are going to build a new morning show from there. Did you hear them this morning? They sounded great. I got up at fucking 5:45 in the morning to wish them well and to listen to their first hour on the radio. And then I had to take it. And then I had to go back to sleep because you know me, right? Like, yeah, Nick. But then I got up at 8:45, and then I heard the last of their show. So I think they did a really good job. Did anybody else get to hear it? Tom, I am hoping to go to King Diamond. Oh, that's what I was doing, huh? I was looking up my Sorry, I got all sidetracked when I saw the tip, just the tip. My Amex pinged with like the tip that I paid the driver, and that just got me all like aggro and sidetracked. Zach's Sabbath is December 1st. Isn't it how I know what, like, I know all the show dates, but I don't know what I'm doing on those days? Um, oh, it's a Sunday. But yeah, I'll probably be there unless something weird happens. I'm not out of town that weekend, I don't think. I don't see any. Oh, is there a Niner game? If there's a Niner game, that could throw it off. Let me see. Nope, the Niners are out of town. So yeah, yes, I should be there. And then I'm hoping to be at King Diamond next week. I actually have not heard back from them about whether or not I can get in. Hey Kathleen, what's up? How are the pooches? Yeah, of course, Pete. I mean, listen, man, we have all been trying to process. I had 18. I was just telling Tony Sandoval today because he did middays for Chasta while she was doing mornings with baby Huey. I was like, bro, I had like so many things I needed to do yesterday, and I did zero of them. Zero. Like, obviously, I spent fucking 30, what was it, 10, 38, 10, 20. I spent almost $30 getting groceries delivered because I just did not want to fuck with anything yesterday. So we are all still trying to process. And then I think I posted a video of me in my dragon onesie with the cup of tea. That was my whole day. Okay. I wasn't even, for half that day, I really wasn't even like watching TV or reading a book or doing anything. I was just kind of sitting there like sipping tea in a dragon onesie, staring out the window, like trying to process the fact that Lamont and Kelly are not on the bone anymore and how fucking weird this is. And how I'm gonna try and like keep in touch with them because it hit home even harder for me now that I haven't seen the weed man in real life in years. And I need to make that happen. I need to go to Santa Cruz and visit with him just because these guys are super important to me and always have been and always will be. And sometimes it's hard to remember to be in touch with people. Jesse, what is up, dude? How you doing? Fucking Fairfield. Fairfield to Florida. How's things in Florida right now? I'm so glad you guys didn't get washed away in the hurricanes, plural. I was gonna say it's hella windy lately, but not compared to you. What's up, bro? I miss you guys. You should come visit. That would rule. Um, James, yeah, the driver chooses the food. Yeah, the person who, as far as I know, actually, I mean, I'm not super familiar with the inner workings of Whole Foods. Maybe it's possible that the driver is not the same person that picks the food, but I'm pretty sure it is. I'm pretty sure that um because they don't want to pass your information to too many people. So I'm pretty sure that like one person gets, like, they route the orders to them almost like Uber, right? So you have a shopper with their car ready to do the orders, and then they route like a couple of different orders in a certain area, and then that driver gets those orders. That's why the window is like 2 hours because the person will get like an hour or two to put all these orders together and then package all the orders in their car and then drive around and deliver them all. So each person, I think, puts together like, I don't know, 4 or 5 grocery orders and then drives around and delivering. I could be wrong. It could be segmented where there are people who put the orders together and there are drivers, and then they separate the tips somehow between them. I don't know. Question. Oh, the dogs are great. Yay. Corgi butts are fun. Hey, Vernon. Mornings are not the same. You do still have me in afternoons, and mornings are never gonna be the same because no one's ever gonna be Lamont and Snelly. Just the same way that no one is ever gonna be. What did we have before? Coburn in the morning. Remember, we had Bob Coburn. Remember Rockline's Bob Coburn, who was doing mornings on the Bone before Lamont and Snelly came over here. At one point in KSJO, we had the Mikey morning show. Everybody does things a little bit differently, but the good news is that Chasta and Baby Huey have been here forever. The fabric of this station runs through them just as much as it runs through me, almost as much as it ran through Lamont and Snelly. I was here before Lamont and Snelly, but then I left, and then they came here, and then I came here, and then I left again, and then I came back. So, as far as like Bay Area rock goes, if we can't have Lamont and Snelly, I hope you guys are happy that you have Chasta, Baby Huey, me, Tony Sandoval, and Dennis Willis, because we are all Bay Area rock music fans. And we're all fans of Lamont and Snelly. There's a legacy that we want to keep going, and we're not going to try and copycat them, but it is going to take a minute, to build a new show with its own identity. I think they hit the ground running today. It was a really entertaining show, and it was fun to listen to, and it can only get better from there. Drew, they did not retire. There were cutbacks at corporations across the country, and there were cutbacks especially at radio corporations across the country. And our cluster was no exception to that. And they hired a lot of people, mostly on air, mostly talent who had been here a very long time. Because the longer you're here, the more you make, right? The bigger your paycheck, the bigger a target you are. Hi, Golan. You know what, James? I actually could have docked the tip. Is that a circumcision? I could have changed the tip amount had I wanted to. That's why the tip actually just went on my credit card just now, because they give you like a day to adjust the tip if you're pissed off. But I think y'all know I've been a little preoccupied to be bothering with taking somebody's tip back. But also, you know what? That's some messed up stuff to be giving somebody a nice big tip and then take that tip back. Oh my God, I can't even have this conversation right now. It's so ridiculous. There's like my inner 12-year-old is just like crazy. So yeah, James, I could have taken some money back. I could have been like, oh, I'm taking back this $6.42 because you brought me. Well, I wouldn't have taken that much because he brought me like a 4-pack of avocados and 3 of them were bad. One of them is okay. So I could have taken $5 ish, $4.20. I should have taken back $4.20. That would have been funny. No, Tracy, you're not beating it to death. What you're doing is you're processing it, just like we all are, I saw Chasta and Baby Huey on Saturday, and of course, this was all we could talk about. We could have talked about other things, but this is all we needed to talk about because it's traumatic. These guys have been on the air every damn day for 35 years in the Bay, and now that's not happening. And today's the first day that didn't happen. Fucking weird, man. Especially with all the crazy changes that are coming right now, with the election and everything. Okay, Tracy, don't get too excited about the idea of advertisers leaving, because if that happens, we could still lose the station. Where's KSJO right now? Where's KRQR right now? Right? I mean, these stations are gone. They no longer exist. So when you look at the loss of Lamont and Snelly versus the loss of the station entirely, we're on the better side of that argument, right? But but to answer the question, what will happen with advertisers is those advertisers will be given a chance to decide if they want someone else to endorse them or if they want no endorsement but still to have commercials, or if they want to withdraw their business. And again, if they withdraw their business, it's not good for the station as a whole. We'll see what happens. Oh, thanks, Tracy. Yeah, I mean, and I'm happy to be here. And I came back because I wanted to. I was out being Jackson Brown's road manager and I was loving it and I was having a really good time doing it. But when Shasta called, she was like, I got that thing that you want. And she was right. This has always been where my heart is. And I hope this is where my heart stays. But if not, I'll go back out on tour and I'll miss you guys. So let's hope those advertisers decide to choose other endorsers. Let's hope they decide to pick Shasta, pick me, pick Baby Huey, or just switch to regular commercials, because if we lose a significant amount of business to the point where we can't afford to sustain the station, corporate's just going to be like, chuck it. And then you'll end up with like another of what's the most popular thing in the market right now, which I don't even know what that is, honestly. Coit, I think. You'd end up with another Coit, probably. Thanks, Sherry. Appreciate that. Really appreciate that. I mean, I get how people are mad and they like want to tune away, but this isn't the kind of situation where tuning elsewhere is going to help anything. It's not going to bring them back. I mean, maybe people can remember this far back, right? I was on in afternoons from 2006 to 2011. And in 2011, I got bumped to nights. And I was pissed about it. And everybody else was pissed about it. And in fact, I lost like 20% of my pay because I lost all my endorsements, because my endorsements were all contingent on me being in afternoons. And a lot of those endorsements disappeared. They lost the business after that, and they did not care. It did not motivate them at all to bring me back to afternoons, not even a little bit. So if people think that by not listening, it's somehow going to motivate corporate to bring Lamont and Snelly back, I can tell you right now that history has shown that that is not going to fucking happen. Exactly, Vernon. Exactly. It's impossible shoes to fill, Basically, we're just going to make a new show. Chas and Baby Huey started with this morning, and they're going to build from there. And I think they did a really great job this morning, and I think that the only place they can go from there is up, right? I mean, I listened to this morning for a couple of hours, which is a lot longer than most people listen in the car, and I enjoyed it. I thought they did a great job. In fact, here's how I know they did a good job. I was tempted to call it because they were saying things where I wanted to also say something. So that says to me that they're having a conversation that I want to be a part of. And if they're already having that conversation that you want to be a part of, it only gets better from there. Also, did I mention I was up at 5:45? You're going to love this. I texted Shasta and Baby Huey to wish them good luck. And what was the first thing she said? It was hilarious. Oh my god, you guys. Because she just knows me. Oh wait, it's not this one, it's a different one. There it is. The group text. So I said break a leg, guys, right? And she goes, "What in the world are you doing awake right now?" And I was like, "Funny, I actually set an alarm to make sure I hit you guys at 6 o'clock because I wanted to wish them, I wanted to wish them to break a leg because good luck is bad luck when in the theater, right? But I wanted to make sure I caught them before they went on air so that I could hopefully break whatever tension might have been there while they were just like on the verge of their first show and let them know that I was there listening, supporting them. And I said I was supposed to hit you guys at 6 o'clock, but I woke up ahead of my alarm and I hit them at 5:45. Um, and here, you guys check this out. They sent me a picture. Look how happy they are. That was at the end of their shift. I mean, if you can imagine how emotional it is for them, like to lose Lamont and Snelly and then to have to take over for them. I for all of us in radio, sorry, my hair is bugging me. For all of us in radio, every time this happens, we have tremendous survivor's guilt, right? Because you're horrified and saddened that your friends are gone. They've lost their jobs, which for many of us is an identity and something that's been a part of us for decades now, if not more than half our lives. Um, so you want to mourn for them, but then also you have this relief and almost a joy that it didn't happen to you. But then you have this fear that it could happen to you and it could still happen to you at any time. And also then you feel like an asshole for having this little bit of joy that it wasn't you. And it's complicated, it's a big fucking ball of yarn and emotions. And for them to have made it through that show this morning and be happy at the end of it, just have like a little bit of little nugget of happiness after all the stress of the last week, makes me happy. Oh, thanks, Kathleen. I'll have to check. Did you send me corgi butts? Ah, look at the corgis. They're so cute. Oh my god. Uh, huh. Somebody thinks we changed the lyrics to a Tom Petty song when we did not. One moment, please. Okay. Where were we? Um Oh, Golan, you like that Georgia Satellite song? I don't know if anybody's noticed, but for the people who complain that we play the same songs all the time, there was actually like a big music rotation because we don't actually play the same songs all the time. And Georgia Satellites is one of those songs that gets rotated in and out. I said in and out. Um, oh, I see what you mean, Tracy. I got you. Thanks. We're all scared about it, honestly, because radio has struggled. Radio has struggled to move into the new era of digital, and we have been pushing and trying really hard to get there. But um we are some of the more forward progressive thinking programmers here, and the sales needs to catch up. You've got a lot of companies out there that are just dumping all their money into digital, and they're like, we don't have radio budgets. Like, they're literally not even considering radio as a marketing medium at all anymore. It's all going into digital, and we're like, why would you do that? Like, we reach hundreds of thousands of people daily. Mhm. Oh, James, I'm a professional grocery shopper, so I have high standards. If those avocados aren't up to snuff, I'm not buying them. But typically, that's why I do my own grocery shopping. But like I said, yesterday, I just needed to not. Um, Kathleen, I can say we lost some people in other departments, but not many because we were already running pretty lean. The vast majority of the employees that work here are either in sales or on air. I believe we lost one salesperson and one producer. And then I think we lost 5 on air personalities. Oh yeah, Sherry, she was completely shocked to hear from me that early, but no, she she knows I was definitely in bed asleep by 5 a.m. I mean, I may stay up late, but not that late. At least not unless I'm in Vegas. I need that oxygen pumped into me to stay awake till dawn. Hi, Justine. Yeah, it doesn't matter how long you've known Lamont and Snelly. Just listening to them, you get to know them real fast, and it's easy to become fast friends with guys like that. And it's a lot for all of us, honestly. Yeah, James. I mean, if I can answer questions, I'll answer questions. If there's stuff I can't tell you, I'm not going to tell you. Like I can't tell you who behind the scenes was let go because that's their business. Um, and then I can tell you everybody on air that was let go because it's public. You know what I mean? Hey, Terry. Thank everyone for sharing your birthday at Old City Hall in Gilroy. Uh, okay. When was that? I was not there. But you're welcome? I'm confused by that. Nope, no buts, but still cute corgis. Thanks, Kathleen. For anyone who doesn't follow Kathleen on Facebook, she's got the cutest corgi pups. 65, Terry. Nice. I also do not lie about my age. Well, I mean, I do kind of actually. Because I'm technically 52 right now, but I will just start telling people I'm 53 just so I get used to it by the time I turn 53 next year so that I'm like, whatever. Hey, Dan. Dan did not watch the fight. I also did not watch the fight, Dan. I mean, technically, I saw a couple minutes of it, but that's about it. I was at Max Sabbath and they had the fight on backstage. So I caught a little bit of it, but not much because I was watching the bands. Hi, Jim. Thank you. I am glad to still be here too because oh my God, dude, Tom. Oh, Jim, it might be the Mandela effect. What did I was just telling somebody we were going to Mandela effect something. Oh, now I can't remember what it was. Shit. Now I wish I could remember because it was really funny. I was like, I was like, fuck that. I'm not having that happen. We're going to Mandela effect that shit. And nobody's ever going to remember that it was ever any different. Oh, it was on Saturday. Congratulations. Happy birthday, Terry. Yeah, Derek, I was at Max Sabbath. Hey, John, how are you doing? You were not at Max Sabbath, were you, John? I didn't see you. Max Sabbath is awesome. They're doing their 10th anniversary. They are great guys. I love them on and off stage. If you ever get a chance to see Max Sabbath, it is hilarious. And they know their shit. It's funny because I remember somebody telling me, there's no way Mayor McCheese is actually playing that. And I was like, the fuck he's not. I'm like, I know the man under the mask, and he definitely is playing that shit. Slayer Mc, oh God, what is his Slayer name? It's not Mayor McCheese, obviously, because that's copyrighted by McDonald's, but yeah. Oh, thanks, Michael. I appreciate it. You know, we all had shit birthdays, except for Kirk Hammett, who I anticipate is having a great birthday today. Happy birthday, Kirk. Yeah, I mean, my birthday was 2 days after the election, so obviously that was fucked. And then baby Huey's birthday was the day we fired everybody here at the station, so he got burnt. And today is Kirk Hammett's birthday. So far, everything seems okay. But, you know, I heard those bad luck fish have been washing up on shore. So we're probably going to get a big earthquake soon or some shit. Who knows? We're headed into bizarro world now. Anything goes. Oh, you're welcome, Terry. Oh, you're welcome, Kathleen. No problem. I mean, they're cute. Of course, it's not a problem to tell you your dogs are cute. They are cute. Derek, my thoughts on Shark in the Water is they're hilarious, and opening for Max Sabbath is perfect for them. In fact, they kind of fit in better than the Super Suckers did, but the Super Suckers are still fucking badass. They're kind of like if the Ramones and Motorhead had a baby and then neglected that baby for years, it would become the Super Suckers. But they were killer too. Shark in the Water are local. I've seen them a bunch. I've seen them probably like 5 times. Oh, yeah. See, John, I had a feeling you were not at Max Sabbath. I would have seen you. The CEO of Cumulus, does Mary Berner? You think Mary Berner looks like Matt Gaetz? No. No, Peter, you are very far off. The CEO of Cumulus is a woman, first off. And she does not resemble Matt Gaetz at all. Let me see if I can get you a photo. And, you know, she's not my favorite person right now, but she's better than Matt Gaetz. I mean, my gods. That's the CEO for Cumulus. Dan, you never had a birthday ever? I'm pretty sure that's not possible. Unless you died preemptively and you are clearly alive. Hey, Sean. Oh, you know, I'm all right. It's been a rough couple of weeks. How's things down under? Yeah, oops, Peter. You were a little bit off on that one, yeah. Oh, yeah, Jim, the Super Suckers are bomb, dude. Yeah, they haven't been around for years. I mean, I literally have not seen them in the Bay for a very, very like years and years, like pre-pandemic, I think was the last time they were here. But they're badass. Never miss a chance to see the Super Suckers if you can. I think I did actually. Well, right after I say that, I gotta be like, and I missed them this one time. They were playing like a Hell's Angels party or something, but it was a weekend I was out of town, and so I did miss them the last time they were here. But that was recent, and then before that, I don't think they were here, but for like 5 years or something. Um. Oh, John, I'm sure you weren't hiding. There's no place to hide at the DNA. Although the show was really crowded by the time Max Sabbath went on, so you could have come in late, and then I would have missed you. Yeah, I think I'll be at Exodus. I don't think there's a reason I wouldn't. She's Bizarro Chasta. No, Dan, she's got nothing in common with Chasta. They might be the same age. I'm not sure. I'd have to see how old she is. But Mary looks kind of young, right? Let's see. Well, anyway, I'm not here to bash the CEO of Cumulus because at this point, she could kill the station if she wanted to, and she clearly doesn't want to. You know, I mean, when you look at ways to cut expenses around here, there's not much left. You could cut Lamont and Snelly, or you could cut every single other person that works here, and then you'd have to go find other people that work here and then kill them too. um, I'm not saying the guys made a lot of money. I'm just saying they made a lot more. So when you're cutting expenses, the big paychecks are the big targets. Um, but it's okay, Peter, if you want to not like her. I don't mind. um, Hi, Rodney. You're at a housekeeping Olympics. What is a housekeeping Olympics? You can't hear, but you're going to tell us you're not going to follow up with that with whatever the hell a housekeeping Olympics is? Damn it, Rodney. Hey, Jason. Right now she's ranking up there with the owner of the A's. Well, again, she's not moving the team. So she's only trading your favorite players. And let's face it, at some point, you got to retire even the best of players. I mean, at least she's not trading Joe Montana to Kansas City, right? That's almost what she did, but Joe Montana was a lot younger when he got traded to Kansas City. I don't know, guys. I mean, there's no way to I don't even want to justify it because in a perfect world, we would never be having this conversation. In a perfect world, there'd be enough advertising money to cover everything that we're doing, and they would be paying us a fair wage, and we wouldn't be all owned by one corporation that has hundreds of stations. When we were owned by Susquehanna, they owned like 42 stations across the country, and it was one family. One family owned 42 stations. Michael, you want to check with me later about what? I'm confused by that. You're waving, Rodney. Rodney, you're going to wave, but you're not going to tell me what a housekeeping Olympics is? Not happy with you. Dan, you technically had no birthday party. Why are you depressing me, Dan? Hi, Philip. Hey, Sean. Yeah? Oh, I saw that. Well, I mean, I would love to go down under to see Metallica so much so that I would probably eat licorice for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, except for Thai food. Oh my God. Or Indonesian food. Yeah. The Pan Asian cuisine you guys have in Australia is amazing because you're so close to Asia. But I don't think I have enough vacation time to leave the country yet. Working on it. John, you would never be in the bathroom that long for me to not see you. Would you? I don't want to know that. Don't answer that question. Hi, Jacob. Hey, Derek. I'm not sure if I can go to the Merkins Christmas show. If I remember correctly, it's on a date when something else is happening. Let me see. When is the Merkins? We'll never just Google Merkins. Oh, Jesus Christ. What does it take there? No. It keeps trying to show me the Merkins from Valentine's Day and stuff. Huh. I can't find the fucking date. I'll have to look it up and see. But if I can, I will. Justine, you get a birthday lunch or dinner and a cake. Money to buy what you want. Oh, I don't need anything. In fact, I got this scarf from my mom because she went to Ireland to visit my cousin, and I couldn't go because I did not have enough vacation days. And so she asked what I wanted, and I told her I wanted a Celtic ring or I wanted a sweater, and I got a scarf. So, and then she gave it to me for my birthday, but it's really pretty. And it's super light and thin, but super warm too. So, oh, where's it from? Wool and acrylic from Ireland. Anyway, but I always tell my mom I don't need anything and I don't want anything. So, stop it. And then, she'll try to hide money or something around the house. It's weird. But you know what? It's funny. I actually gained a few pounds over the birthday weekend. Did not once eat cake. But as you know, it was post-election, so it was all booze calories. Taylor! Oh my God. I, of course, have. They were just here. I have heard of King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard show. What? I've heard of them, but I've never seen them, and that sounds insane. No wonder everybody was talking about them like crazy when they were here. Kathleen, I don't know who you're saying is 62. Sorry, guys. I didn't have a chance to eat earlier, so I was finishing lunch or breakfast or whatever. Oh, shut up. She's 62. I must have been looking at an old picture. Or my eyes are worse than I thought. Oh, I see. Gotcha, Justine. Jacob, nothing's going to happen to the morning crew of people. They don't work here. So the morning listeners are still morning listeners. And they can still call and text and come to events and whatever. Yeah. So do you think that's what he means, Justine? Mary Berner is 62. Okay, if Mary Berner is 62, either she has had the most amazing plastic surgery, or I was looking at an old photo, or my eyes are gone. Merkins is December 21st. I might be able to make that. I might not. It depends. I just found out my aunt's coming into town from Phoenix, and she's only gonna be in town for like half a week, and then I'm gonna be out of town in Vegas for Christmas. But I still might be able to make it. It just depends. We got to figure out if I can get my mom to make dinner with my aunt on the 22nd, then I should be able to still make it. Hey, Matt. Yeah, you know what? It was a tough loss for the Niners yesterday, and I really feel like I knew it was going to happen. The Seahawks are always a tough team for the Niners for some reason. I think the additional concern of losing a game in the division just always throws them off. And we're not a strong team, but something's going on. There's something in the locker room poisoning this team. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's Bosa with his Trump hat. I don't know. Oh shit! Did you guys hear Blackie Lawless from Wasp turn their New York show into a Trump rally? Like he literally started playing Trump on the video screen behind him, and then he dropped Trump banners on both sides of the stage, and then he gave a whole speech about Trump. And I was like, wow, okay. I mean, in hindsight, I've never met Blackie Lawless. I mean, I saw him. I feel like I met him because I saw him at the fucking the club in Sacramento that looks like a Sizzler that's in Citrus Heights. It's on Greenback. The Boardwalk. I saw him at the Boardwalk in Sacramento, you know, with like 25 other people. And I don't know. I feel like a guy who probably used Obamacare for his back surgery probably shouldn't be such a Trump fan, but here we are. People are dumb. Hey, Matthew. Hello from Sacramento. You've been to the Boardwalk, right? Hey, what's that new club out there that I keep hearing about? People keep telling me it's really good, but I still don't want to drive to Sacramento for it. Bluffdale, Texas. What's up, Antonio? Is Bluffdale anywhere near Laredo? The only reason I ask is because that's where I read the Sammy Hagar tequila got heisted, and I really want to make this into like a Smokey and the Bandit reboot. As much as I am typically against reboots, especially on amazing classic films like Smokey and the Bandit, I also really want to see that done right. And I feel like Sammy Hagar and Guy Fieri could play themselves as Little Enos and Big Enos. Can you see Sammy Hagar and Guy Fieri like in matching suits? Like talking about how they better get their tequila? I would fucking die. And then, you know, have some Fast and Furious car chases. It would be cool. Is it big enough to be a shawl? Not really. I mean, it's this wide. So no. I mean, I kind of, but not really. Not for me. Not for my taste in shawls. Plus, it's so thin, it would look weird as a shawl. It's better as a scarf. John, you got groped once by one of the characters at a Shark in the Water show? Oh my goodness. Somebody was dressed as a hammerhead shark in the pit. That was fun. Hey, Aaron, I'm good. How are you? You're right, Jason. There are a few people in the morning that call in an awful lot and have the impression that they are in some way officially affiliated with the station. And I'm thrilled that people are so much a part of the way this station runs, and the Bonehead family is real in the sense that there are people who feel so attached with us that that's part of their identity. Awesome. I'm not going to take that away from anyone. That said, you know, don't fucking hug me. I'm tired of getting hugged by people I barely know. Heart you. I know we're all one big family, but I'm not hugging my mom as much as I'm hugging some people right now. So back up. Chasta's the hugger, not me. Not me. That has been a thing lately. Everywhere I go, people are like, oh my God. And I'm like, no. Don't do that. Oh no, Matthew, it is definitely not our season this year. It has yeah. We're lucky to be a 500 team right now. Something is very wrong in the locker room. Something is very wrong. In fact, I didn't go to the game yesterday, and I asked one of our guys on the digital team how it was, and he was like, it was weird. He's like, I don't know if it was the weather or whatever, but the vibe was just off. And I think it's a combination of things. I think the weather was bad. I think the team is not great. I think the ownership pissed a lot of people off by raising season ticket prices only a couple of weeks ago. And I think people are seriously wondering whether or not they want to pay another, what is it, like almost $2,000 more for season tickets next year, especially when they got the news right before the holidays. Like, that's a lot of money. Uh, yeah. I think there's a lot of bad vibes around the 49ers right now, and I don't think we're shaking them, you know? Basically, we need to sacrifice a chicken. And tell Jobu to fuck off because we've got some serious bad vibes right now. Um, I'm for anybody who hasn't seen Major League, go see Major League. What the hell is wrong with you? That movie's fucking amazing. And I know it's baseball and not football, but still, the message translates. Jason, you think the locker room's fine? There's just a ton of injuries. I mean, CMC came back this weekend and not much happened, right? You know, Purdy's not. I mean, the individual pieces appear to be there, but they do not seem to be coming together. That's why I think it's a locker room problem. I mean, Brock Purdy passed for something like 350 yards the other day, and I was like, God damn it. But it was because the kicker missed 3 fucking kicks. Right? I don't know. Hey, Jimmy. Who you calling fancy pants? You just got out of the studio and you have a Blackie story? Oh my God. Somebody let Blackie and Ingve in the same room? How did they fit both their egos? You know what? If you booked Blackie Lawless and Ingve Malmsteen to play on the same night, that's your fault. You should have known better. I mean, the two of them, come on. Ugh. You went to the boardwalk, but before you lived in Sacramento? Oh, you're from Dixon. Okay. Yeah, there's supposed to be this new club that it's like literally brand new. Like they just built it kind of thing. And everybody says it's super nice and it's in Sacramento. Oh, and if I haven't mentioned it before, the Wasp, the whole set is on tape. The whole set. I didn't want to believe it either, but I was at the soundboard talking to one of the guys that works for him, and he started feeding me Blackie's lines before Blackie, and when Blackie was talking, and I was like, oh, okay, so even that is on tape. Wow, it was pretty crazy. How am I doing on time? I recorded a little bit ahead so that I could talk to you guys about the LNT thing without getting interrupted. Who would be the main character? Oh, see, Dan, lacking in context, but I think I can figure this one out. Who would be the main character of Smokey and the Bandit? I don't know. Timothy Chalamet? He's hot. I don't know. It'd have to be somebody with like crazy Burt Reynolds swagger, you know? Who's got that kind of fucking Khal Drogo, right? Jason Momoa? Except he won't fit into a sports car, so maybe not. Anyway, somebody with some serious swagger would have to play that role because we all know Burt Reynolds in the 80s was like the king of everything. Bluffdale is an hour south of Fort Worth. Oh, you're from Salinas. Nice. I drove there once. It was so far. Oh my God, it was so far. And everything smells like onions down there because of the onion fields, or at least it used to. I don't know what it's like now. In fact, they probably killed all the onion fields for housing the way things are going these days. And I'm not mad about the onion smell because I fucking love onions. That's how we knew we were close. Was it green something? Greenfield is where the onions are or something like that. It used to be like that in Vacaville too. You used to get to Vacaville and be like, onions. You know what, Justine? Guy Fieri bugs everyone. But you know what? I'll take him if I can get my Smokey and the Bandit reboot with Sammy Hagar. And you got to admit, right? If you remember Smokey and the Bandit, Little Enos and Big Enos were like a hilarious pair of characters, and Sammy and Guy are a hilarious pair of characters. Like I feel like it's writing itself, this movie plot, this whole movie concept. Peter, why are you Irish greeting me? Oh, because of the scarf. See, I'm catching up. Must be the coffee starting to hit me. You don't know if Steven Spielberg is going to do the Bullet sequel. I don't think Bullet needs a sequel. I don't even think Smokey and the Bandit needs a reboot until this happened, and it was like the perfect Smokey and the Bandit kind of thing, right? I mean, heisting tequila trucks and swiping $1 million worth of tequila, and it's the fucking reposado too. Like it's tequila that took something like 5 years to make. Like it's significant, yo. John, I missed what you said wasn't fun for you. Oh, getting groped. Antonio, do you know what it's like to be a woman? Because I've been groped at 1,000 concerts. Just saying. Yeah. Yeah. Every metal show I ever went to in the 80s, 90s, 2000s. Yeah. I have been groped. It's finally now it's stopped happening. I don't know if that's because I'm old or because people are learning how unacceptable it is, but here we are. Oh, Justine, my nephew's play was really good. It was called Off Not With Thy Head, I think. Something like that. And it was this crazy concept of beheading, but also then kind of like a psychological analysis of the people who were doing the beheading, of the team that was in charge of cutting off heads. And then there was like another dream layer to it, and like another like author playwright layer. It was complicated, especially for being a very short play. It was like 35 minutes, but my nephew was amazing in it. He played Henry VIII, and he had a fabulous costume, and he did a lot of great complicated dialogue, and one of the kids actually did an incredible Irish accent. I was shocked. Most of the kids did pretty decent English accents too. But yeah, my little nephew, I shouldn't say my little nephew, he's like 12 now. But my nephew, he had a lot of complicated dialogue with big fucking words and nailed it. It was great. It was fun too. It was really entertaining. PJ, why wasn't Bosa wearing his dumbass hat standing on the sidelines? Karma. I don't know. I don't know if I believe in karma, because the entire United States is about to fucking walk off a cliff on January 20th. So whose karma is that? I don't know. But you know, I mean, for Bosa to bring politics into the locker room leads me to believe that there is something wrong in that locker room. Hi, Mike. The worst hug is the bear hug when they pick you up. No, no one picked me up. Do not pick me up. If I don't know you, don't hug me. And if I let you hug me when I barely know you, don't fucking try to pick me up. That's assault, brother. Aaron, you're good, but you're sad. Yes, we are all sad, Aaron. It is rough. It's been really weird. Well, the times they are changing though, and we've got we've just got a whole new world in front of us that we're going to have to navigate. The good news is we have the same old music, and we still have a handful of people here that care. So I think that's what we need to keep going. I hope. Oh, Jason, you're right. And it's not like I don't hate hugs. I love hugs. I just don't love hugs from people that I'm not, like, super close to. You know what I mean? I don't get me wrong, I'm a big hugger. I'm a super hugger, but not for you fucking weirdos that I've never met. Like, people who I barely know are just like, "Oh my god, Nikki!" And I'm like, "Hi, I'm super happy to see you over there. Personal space. Thrilled to have you." But, nah. But if I know you, if you're in my life, if you're a family member, if you're a friend I've known for decades, I am gonna hug the shit out of you because that's where hugs belong. Right, see, PJ gets it. I tapped him on the shoulder. You'll get an you'll get an arm shake. You'll get a nudge. You're the levels of physical contact I have with you are aggregate to the level of time I've known you. The amount of time we've spent together physically in each other's presence. Oh, Derek, was that the singer for Arnold Core in the pit? I didn't know that. That's awesome. I've seen Arnold Core in the way back. I missed the Arnold Core they did at Minis recently though. That was a bummer. I wanted to see that. Oh, Mike, did you oh right. Yeah, no, we you know what? Baby Huey had so much prep work to do for his show this morning, and he has the parking pass. So if he's not going, I have to get up at 5 a.m. to go with my tailgate crew, and I did not have that in me. And also, it turned out to be a really good thing for me to just stay home and not do anything yesterday. I clearly needed that time off and away from things. Um, but we missed you too, and we missed the game. How was the vibe for you? Was it weird? Oh yeah, post karma. Okay, fair enough. Antonio, it could have been 8-2 if they'd held on to the lead in the fourth quarter. Yeah, remember last year when we were a fourth quarter team? This year, we cannot come back in the fourth. And I don't know why that is. Because we were scrambling very well last season in the fourth. But yeah, whatever's changed that is what's changed with the team. And I can't pinpoint it because I'm not seeing any one failure outside of the kicker. Matthew, you think we'll finish 9-8? Um, I don't know if we're gonna miss the postseason, but it's gonna be close. And if we do make postseason, we're gonna get knocked out in the first round because we don't have it together. I think there's just some kind of yeah, it's like an overall, like I don't know if it's play calling, I don't know if it's lack of execution. Um, but there's something. There's like a pall cast over the team. Maybe it's some kind of post Super Bowl malaise that they haven't seemed to be able to shake. And then they had all the injuries on top of that. No. Um, hang on a second, guys. I gotta do a thing. 1077 The Bone and Motley Crue with Looks to Kill. I'm Nikki Blakk, and Motley Crue are participating in Record Store Day this year. Record Store Day happens twice, once in April and once on Black Friday. And Motley Crue are releasing a 35th anniversary edition of Dr. Feelgood that is going to be all 7-inch vinyl singles. And that's going to be exclusive to record stores only on Record Store Day. And there's a limited number, so get there early. Okay. As you all know, right around 6 o'clock is when I start to have to wrap things up. Ray Duran is the original Wild Thing. Blackie Lawless is related to him. Brian Duran. What was he cast was he the inspiration for the Major League character? Is that what you're saying? And somehow he's related to Blackie Lawless, which is creepy. Major League should be one of everyone's favorites. I feel like we should be sending, like, buckets of chicken to the to the team. Oh, it was a package tour, Jimmy? I still wouldn't have booked it. I'd have been like, "Keep on going." Don't want any part of that. Gwen, how you doing, mama? Just ask Udo. Wait, what am I asking Udo? Purdy's keeping them in those games. Their D needs to step up in the 4th. You think so, Jason? I mean, Brock has been solid, and I mean, Brock is like, what, 3 seasons in now? You know, he's a fucking kid. He's got legacy quarterback in him if we can keep him healthy, which we've somehow have managed to do, and if we can keep him healthy and build a team around him, I think he's got real legacy tendencies, but I don't know what's going on with the ownership and front office. It's looking weird. Oh, thanks, Sherry. I appreciate that. It's nothing personal. I just like, ask Gwen. I've known Gwen for 30 years now, and I'll hug the shit out of her. But if I haven't known you for 30 years, maybe we don't need to touch. Hey, Paul. How's it going, man? Oh, thanks, Jimmy. It's okay, Michelle. You're fine. Just, it doesn't need to be a receiving line of hugs is what I'm saying. But also, I have known you outside of the station. Um, Aaron, it's easy to blame this on injuries, but I mean, Bosa may have gone out yesterday, but both Kittle and oh wait, Kittle was out yesterday? What? Was Kittle out yesterday? I specifically asked over at KMBR and they didn't say anything about Kittle. So if Kittle and Bosa went out yesterday, then CMC might not have been able to pick up the slack. I don't know. I mean, definitely injuries have been a real problem, but they haven't been the only problem. That's all I'm saying. I absolutely agree that injuries have plagued us, but injuries are not the only fucking thing going on. I swear to you, there's something else. I don't know what it is. I got that sixth sense, like that my spider sense is tingling that something's going on. But then, like I said, then Bosa turned out with a Trump hat, so maybe that's it. Maybe there's like some political division in the locker room where politics have no business being. And then, you got Debo and Pepper. Uh, we got Debo Samuel and Tabor Pepper like getting into it. What the fuck was that? And I heard there's a story behind that. There's a little extra story behind that I need to catch up on. 'Cause I don't know Debo, and I barely know Tabor Pepper, but Tabor has always been just the kindest, most eager person to be a part of this station that I can't imagine him doing something that deserved that action, but I don't know. I don't know. But also that kind of thing doesn't happen on the field if there's not something wrong in the locker room, you know? If you're pissed at your guy and I get that, but if you're pissed at your guy and you can't keep it together long enough to not clock your guy on the fucking sidelines, if you can't wait till you can get into the locker room to have that out, something is wrong with you because it's your job to work under pressure. So, how are you gonna come back in a 4th quarter when you're down if you can't even shut the fuck up long enough to not punch your teammate on the sidelines? Like, it's indicative of a larger problem is what I'm saying. Uh, Question of the day, Simpsons or Family Guy, which one do I like better? Ah. like apples and oranges, man. I mean, each one has its place. Each one is unique and wonderful in what it brings to the table. I mean, I don't want apple juice in my cocktails, but I love orange juice in my cocktails. But also, I don't like to eat an orange whole, but I do like to eat an apple whole. Uh, eh, eh. I can't choose. Sorry, Matthew. Mm. Um, Paul, you look like Jason Momoa if he was bald and less bearded and not in good shape. Oh, Paul. We didn't need to know that. Matthew McConaughey. Oh, Kathleen, you're right. Matthew McConaughey could totally pull off Smokey or Band. No, Matthew McConaughey would be Snowman. Oh, oh, he would kill it. He would be Jerry Reed, the second coming, right? That would be amazing. Why does Hollywood not call me for this? You can still get the garlic smell in Gilroy. Some things never change. You never saw Smokey in the Bandit, Justine? Oh, it's super cute. Dan, shut up. She's totally missing out. It's a fabulous movie. Hilarious. It's a classic. Henry VIII. Oh yeah. Well, the character was Henry VIII, but it was a manifestation of Henry VIII inside of well, like I said, there were many layers to the play, which is crazy to get that many layers of a play into 35 minutes, but they did it. They did it well. People are learning it's not okay. Yeah, right. You're right, John. People are learning it's not okay to grope strangers. Yeah, I've been groped on both sides too. It happens and it's not cool. And heaven help you if I catch you, right? Because that used to be a thing where I would do my best to try and like grab the hand that grabs you, to bang the head that bangs you, bang the head that does not bang. If somebody would grab me and I could catch their hand before they let go, I would whirl around and raise holy hell. I mean, the first thing I'd do is punch them, and then I'd yell at them like, "Oh, you think it's okay to grab my ass? Who the fuck are you?" And I would scream at them and embarrass them in the pit, and then they'd apologize and skulk away. Because people who grope strangers have problems. Uh I'm with you, Paul. I don't hug strangers either. I mean, every once in a while. Like if you're a stranger to me, but you are a relative of one of my very close friends or a very close friend of one of my relatives, or you're from New Orleans, because that seems to be a thing out there I can't escape. In New Orleans, you get kissed on the cheek all the time. Same thing in France. Same thing in the Netherlands. In the Netherlands, you have to, in France, I think you have to get kissed on the cheek twice. And then in the Netherlands, you get kissed 3 times. The Belgians will kiss you 3 times too. It is what it is. It's how you meet people. And I get it. I also don't enjoy it. Also, when you're like back and forth with the kissing, at some point somebody's gonna accidentally stop in the middle and you're gonna be like, ah, but whatever. Is Tony gonna be permanent in the 10 o'clock slot? No, Jason, I think that that's just for this week while things are settling down. And then nothing is permanent actually right now. A lot of things are still very much up in the air. So when I say we're building, I mean we are building from it, where we are. Um, Michelle, don't feel bad. It's okay. Yeah, Jason, you know what? I don't think anything is permanent right now. I'm about as permanent as Gorman. Gorman is the most permanent aspect right now, because there are zero plans to change Knights on the Bone. And oh, I gotta put something in here real quick. Hmm. Oh, I got too many 80s songs in a row. 1 second here. Okay. There we go. Oh, and I still gotta put that in there. There we go. Okay. Dan, you're wondering if cuddling will become a big thing again since that bully is going back to office. Oh, probably. I mean, there's nothing wrong with cuddling. There's nothing wrong with contact. It's just that there are a lot of people that I don't know or I don't know well who are presumptively having contact with me without like asking or without having any history with me where we would be physically close. So that's why I don't even know why I mentioned it. I don't know how it came up, but it did. Um, but for people that if you like people we should like it for people that and are comfortable with, we should absolutely be close physically, emotionally. We're all gonna need. Yeah, and you know what? If you're a fucking stranger on the street having a bad day and you say, "Hey, I'm having a bad day and I need a hug," I will hug you, okay? Because you asked. I mean, the difference. I'm being hugged sans consent. People aren't asking if they can hug me. They're assuming that they get hugged, and I'm like, "This needs to slow the fuck down." Um, what's crazy is there's this TV show that Steve Gorman, uh, actually turned me on to. It's called The Patriot. It's on Amazon, and the name is it's actually an older series. So, it has nothing to do with, like, patriots in the Trump sense. It's about a guy who he's basically a spy. And then at some point, it's also got all this like absurdist humor. And at one point, there's a guy who's like, "I need cuddling, and that is my demand. I demand to cuddle." And like he makes it weird, and it's so funny, but it's also like so poignant in like a Ted Lasso way. So if you were ever looking for something new to watch and you wanted something that had like Airplane the movie level absurdity with Ted Lasso level emotion and what was that Kiefer Sutherland series where he becomes president? Designated Survivor. And Designated Survivor level spy action. This has it all and more. It's called The Patriot and it's on Amazon and I highly recommend it. It's not for everybody, but you'll know if it's for you or not like in the first episode. PJ, your 20-year-old said she wouldn't run errands for you? Oh, she had a midterm. Oh, wow, dude. Why are you so snappy? Have you been missing the gym or has it just been too much stress lately? Yeah, I get it. We've all been under a lot of it. I mean, I don't want to throw anyone under the bus, but I was having a conversation with someone today and I kind of had to point out something that they did that was a problem. And I just was like, hey, I don't know why this happened, but this happened and it needs to not happen in the future. And then I saw the person walking away and I could see the look on his face. I could just see it. And the look on the face was like just this like level of last tiny shred of holding it together exasperation. And I was like, wait, come back, come back. We need to talk about this, and we talked about it and we had a really good talk. And it turns out that I often and I said this. I go, listen, we all have to be a little narcissistic to be able to sit behind this microphone all the time. And we're also all doing like 6 things at once. So I I am 100% guilty of very often coming off in a brash manner or seemingly irritated or like some people may perceive it as condescension when really I'm just trying to be as direct as I can because I'm thinking about 6 things right now. I need to wash this plate before I leave. I need to finish some of the breaks before the end of my show. I need to wrap up a bunch of this stuff, but I also need to make notes for my interview with Zach Wild tomorrow morning. and I still need to figure out what I'm gonna do with these fucking avocados when I get home. And I'm trying to talk to you guys, and I'm seeing that the comments are building up, and I'm feeling bad that I might be missing comments that are people trying to say something about what I'm talking about right now. So, listen, man, we all need a fucking hug. I'm not saying I don't need a hug. I'm just saying I don't need a hug from a stranger or from somebody that I don't really know, you know? Would you hug your barista when you walk into Starbucks? How many times do you have to walk into Starbucks before it's okay to hug your barista? It's the same with your DJ. Matthew, I have heard grumblings about this being about Harbaugh being the case, about this being Harbaugh's last season. Uh, I don't know. I don't First off, I don't think that Harbaugh is the crux of the problem. Um, and I don't know that bringing in somebody new is going to be a fix, right? That sometimes the devil you know is better than the devil you don't know. But we'll see. Or whoever's coaching right now. Hold on. Why am I blanking? Yeah, you could slip that sort of thing right past me because I am not paying attention. Um, I don't think it's a coaching problem, is what I'm trying to say. I think that if we made too many changes, Shanahan is what you meant to say, not Harbaugh. Um, but but coaching doesn't seem to be the problem. Coaching is not the problem, but when you bring in a whole new coach, you change the whole system. And while it seems that we have something affecting the system from the top down, I also don't know that that sweeping change is going to be what makes it better. I know that that's vague and kind of ambiguous, but it someone in that organization knows what's really going on, and it's not us. So that's why it's really hard to armchair quarterback this shit. Oh, he was an old baseball player who wore the glasses and pitched fast. Okay. So he was the inspiration for the Wild Thing. Hey, Marlon. Yep, you and me both. We're gonna miss L&T, and we're gonna hang in there. Hi, Sherry. Well, I'll tell you, PJ, there's a couple of Niners I wouldn't mind hugging, but I'm not hugging all of them. Definitely not all of them. But I would hug Tabor because we know each other, right? And I wouldn't even like go out of my way to hug Tabor because we don't know each other, but we work together now, right? But I'm still not walking up to being like, "Hey, Tabor, oh my God, how are you doing? It's been so great. I haven't seen you for a couple weeks." We're not like that tight. We're tight to the point of like, "Hey, Tabor, what's up, man? How's it going? Good to see you." Arm around, smile for the photo. What's new? What can we talk about? What can we do next? Okay, cool. We'll let you go because you got to practice, you know? So do you see the difference? Like, I'm not walking up to Tabor being like, "Tabor, it's time for my hug." Nope. I don't get that. Tabor and I aren't that close. Maybe one day we will be that close, but right now, nope, definitely not. It does not feel appropriate for me to hug Tabor Pepper any more than it feels appropriate for me to hug my barista, which is weird because I am my barista because I make all my own coffees now. You're goddamn right. I have those heels, Michelle. Oh, you're talking about my 2012 Prada Hot Rod shoes. Hell yeah, I'll never lose those. Like, I'll die before I'll sell those shoes. Oh, well, I'm not blocking anyone for anything, Jason, but I'm definitely not blocking him for not liking Smokey and the Bandit. I mean, if he wants to say crazy shit, we'll all just laugh at him for saying crazy shit, just like I do with people who come in here and want to talk Trump. Yeah, Justine, he was only 12 and all the kids were about the same age. This is my nephew's second play. And he's one of those kids that when he gets into something, he gets really into it. He was like really into reading books and then He was reading books nonstop. And then he got really into writing like fan fiction. And then he was like writing fan fiction nonstop, like just turning out chapter after chapter after chapter. And now he seems to be really into acting. So he's really good at having a singular focus on the things that he loves, which is actually, I think, something all of us had growing up, my brother and myself. But we didn't have parents that facilitated it like my nephew does. So I think that's great. Jacob, you knew a woman who married a man who let someone grab her butt even though she was offended. How do you know she told you? That's weird. But I mean, it's not easy for women to confront men when they behave inappropriately. Society has traditionally not been on our side. It's only been in the last like 10 years that the tide has kind of turned. You know, somebody would have had like, it's exhausting. Just have consent before you touch someone. It's not that hard. Watch that cartoon about tea. Does someone want tea? If you want to know if somebody wants tea, you ask them, would you like some tea? And if they say, yes, I would like some tea, then you can give them the tea. If they're too drunk, then they don't want tea. If they're passed out and they can't say whether or not they want tea, then they don't want tea. It's the same thing. Oh, Paul, you used to look like Jason Momoa. Okay. All right. We're all just going to have to take your word for that, Paul. Oh, thanks, Justine. You got to go wash dishes, Peter? Yeah, me too. My dishwasher broke. So now I am my dishwasher. John, that is 100% it. And I mean, it's the double-edged sword, right? I mean, I cultivate this. I cultivate that we are all friends, and we are. It's just that, like I said, we're all friends, but we're not all hugging friends. We're just all friends. Is that not enough? Like, I don't hug all of my friends. I hug my very closest friends. I have friends that I have been friends with in real life for years, and we're not all huggy up. Like, I don't hug everybody. Like, it doesn't need to happen. I don't know why it's developed into this like thing. Hang on. Oh, my aunt's not arriving until the 22nd, so maybe I can go to the Merkins. Okay, hold on. All right. 107.7 The Bone and Phil Collins with In the Air Tonight. I'm Nikki Blakk, and I can never hear that drum solo again without thinking of Mike Tyson in The Hangover. But now I can't think about Mike Tyson without thinking about that fight on Netflix. And now it's like so weird because the memes are just endless. And that fight was so popular that Netflix is going berserk trying to come up with all kinds of other like weird sport pairings in order to try and hook more people to watch it. But I got a feeling that Tyson Paul fight was like a flash in the pan. Am I wrong? Is this going to be or are we all kind of over it already? Okay. Marlin, baked potato, broccolini, and sausage. I don't know what you're talking about, but enjoy. Someone offered you a shoulder rub the other day, Dan. Well, the offer is the important distinction, right? Somebody didn't just walk up behind you and start kneading your shoulders. Like that's happened to me before. Actually, to be fair, I did that the other day, but it was because we were watching Tom Tolbert's last show. And see, there's an example. Tom Tolbert and I have been friends since 2001. 2000, really. You know, I've known him for ages. And I hugged the shit out of him on his last days. And I hugged him like crazy on my first day. But we work together. We see each other frequently. And we don't even see each other every day because Tom was working from home a lot. But when I saw Tom outside of the special occasions, we did not hug because we were seeing each other pretty frequently. And we're not like needing to hug every time we see each other, you know? And it was getting towards the end of Tom's last show, and his producer was really emotional. And I just, and we all were, and it was hurting my heart because I know it was going to be hardest on him. And so I went up behind him and I did like the little shoulder grab and was like, "Hey man, you're really killing it. You know, you're doing a fantastic send off. Just to let you know, I see you, you know." And he thanked me, and then I backed off because, you know, that felt like an appropriate level of contact. I probably could have walked up behind him and given him like a little back hug, but he was working, you know, and I needed to just convey to him that he had the support there because I've known him for fucking 20 years, you know. He's been Tom's board op for like maybe not 20, maybe like 12. Anyway, you know, it just exercise some appropriate level of consent when it comes to touching other people. That's all I'm asking. Can everyone step out of the chat because you need a one-on-one therapy session? Oh, PJ, I'm sorry, dude. Is it just because the kid was like angry and didn't want to help you? Or are you just angry and you need a break? I mean, if I've said it once, I've said it 100 times, you are driving too many hours. You know, maybe you should readjust, see if you can adjust your schedule to take a couple extra office days this month. Um, Send out some invoices and run some errands and get some extra sleep because, dude, you have been burning the candle at both ends for too long. And even if you're physically rejuvenating with a reasonable amount of sleep, just like I did yesterday, sometimes you need a fucking day where you just sit around in a dragon onesie and sip tea and stare out the window. I mean, that's what works for me. I don't know what your thing is. The dragon onesie is optional. So is the tea. Staring out the window seems to be mandatory, though. Kathleen, the Niners coach, may not be the crux of the problem, but he doesn't have the team under control. I agree. I agree that that's an issue. And I'm not sure what the answer is. If I were the boss of that team and Deebo Samuel was hitting people on the sidelines and Bosa was popping Trump hats on, I would 100% be yanking leashes all over the place. I'd be like, listen, this is what your contract says. This is what I have you doing. This is what I need you to do. This is what I don't need you to do. And if you can't handle that, then, you know, throw someone else in. But I think that the coaches are under so much pressure and they get armchair quarterbacked so hard by people like us that they're afraid to make bold changes like that. You know, we only see those bold kind of sit the star down moves in the movies. Nobody does that in real life. If they did, Deion Sanders would have been benched a billion years ago. I mean, Deion Sanders is the biggest jerk on the planet, but everybody put him into play. Even when he sucked at baseball, they put him in. My God. So, you know, that's just how professional sports runs, I guess. Yeah, I'm not a fan of fist bumping either, Justine. Well, I don't always, but sometimes I'm wearing a lot of rings and then I feel bad if I've like ring bumped somebody, especially if my rings have like spikes or something on them, which sometimes they do. Michelle, those shoes are the oh my God. You know who has those shoes? Beyonce. I had them first though. Well, I probably didn't, but you know what? I didn't know she had them when I got them, and then I saw her wearing them in a movie. I mean, magazine. Hey, Louie. Hey, John. Everyone needs empowerment, Jacob. Everyone. Hi, Jim. Hey, John. Carmel. Oh, my other nephew is dating a girl who goes to school in Carmel, and he just showed me a video of them kayaking out there in the ocean, which I thought was adorable. Made me want to go to Carmel. But I also want to go to Santa Cruz first. But that's, yeah. Thank you, Jim. I'm assuming you're agreeing with me on the 49ers thing. That's what I'm guessing. Or maybe it's the hugging thing. I don't know. Thanks for agreeing with me on something. All right, kids. Last minute questions because I have guts to go. Oh yeah, I definitely have to go. Um, oh, whoops, there. Um, oh, thanks, Jim. Today, dispatcher sent you to the wrong gate in Monterey. The guard at the gate told you to turn around and use another gate 4 miles away. Sunday, paperwork dropped off himself. Now some paperwork is missing and blaming me. Oh, yeah, that does sound shitty. Well, I mean, I don't see how that's your fault, PJ. I mean, if he gave it to you and you dropped it off, done. Jim, no one is disputing the fact that people like hugs. Hugs are lovely in general. In fact, I'm trying not to give the impression that I don't like hugs or that I'm anti-hug, much like the same reason people think I hate kids. I'm not anti-kid. I don't hate kids. I just hate your kids. I'm not anti-hug. I just don't want you to hug me. And by you, I mean all people that aren't already in like a personal relationship with me. That's all. Dan, you're having chicken Alfredo. Good on you, bruh. All right. Good night, PJ. You can hit me up on the text line like tomorrow and fill me in. You guys can always reach me on the text line or the phone lines around here. Um, thanks, Jason. Yeah, of course, Jim. Thank you. Thanks for checking in, man. Yeah, you know what, Kathleen? Most people do not get a goodbye show at all. Most people get blindsided. In fact, usually what they do is they wait until Friday after your shift, and then they pop in before your shift is over and go, "Hey, come see me before you leave." And then when you go to see them before you leave, they fire you, and then they escort you from the building on a Friday afternoon so that you don't have time to tell anyone that you got fucking fired, and so that people who do find out forget about it by Monday morning because the whole weekend has gone by and nobody knew you were fired. That's usually what happens. So this time around, both Chasta and Mike Holler fought hard to make sure that their talent had a chance to say goodbye. It wasn't ideal. It would have been nicer if we'd had more notice to plan something, to maybe like reach out to some rock stars, have them call in, have like an all-star show or have like a week to let the guys like wind down, and have callers call in and be able to say goodbye. But that's just not how this business works. Oh, dude, junior mints are the bomb. You know what's funny? There's still no Swedish fish at the fucking 49ers candy bar. Maybe that's why they're losing, huh? No Swedish fish. Again, I am pro hug. I just prefer consent. Ask me if you wanna hug me. I'll tell you no if I don't wanna hug you. If I barely know you, if you don't know my middle name, you probably aren't getting a hug. And if you don't know my middle name, you probably shouldn't be getting a hug. There's a good indicator. I'm glad you enjoyed dinner, Marlon. Well, thanks, PJ. I mean, you need a break, bud. You need a break. And all of your breaks have consisted of like running yourself ragged at a rock show, which is fun, but at some point you need to decompress. Oh, John, that's annoying. Yeah, see, people are there's a lot of confusion happening in the world now because the social contract has been altered and people don't know how to act after the pandemic. We're either starving for attention or we're overloaded with attention, and nobody seems to be able to navigate it. And I would just like to have my attention at a nice normal level. Thanks, Justine. Yeah, I'm hoping to be back on regularly, depending on how things go. Um, I'm shooting for 5 o'clock daily, except for Fridays because Fridays are too much. Um, hey, Michelle. I think they're already brown inside, though. They're like, they're already starting to like, squeeze in on themselves. There's no guac out of you can't make guac out of that. Believe me, if they were guacable, I would guac like a crazy person because I make a mean guac. And because of the diet thing, I use red bell peppers as chips. Comes out amazing. Um, yeah, 888-303-BONE, guys. Not now because I'm fucking tapping out, but most of the time during the day, I'm around here and nobody ever calls or texts. It's kind of funny. What? Justine, how do you love Junior Mints and hate peppermint patties? I love peppermint patties and Junior Mints. They're practically the same thing. That's weird. All right. Um, yes, everyone. Thank you, Sherry, for the reminder. Everyone, please, please, if you haven't already, mention to your friends that 1077 The Bone is still here. And if we still want it to be here, if we would like to still have a rock station in the Bay Area, please listen. Please listen and support and, provide feedback. I mean, feedback meaning, hey, I heard you do this and it was funny, or hey, I heard you do this and it fell flat. Let us know that kind of thing. Don't just be like, we miss L&T, go fuck yourself, because that's not going to help. You know, again, we lost KRQR, we lost KSJO, we lost KOME. I don't want to lose this one. Yep, Swedish Fish are the bomb, dude. Well, that's the point, Justine, right? You got to spend a lot of time with me before you get that far. Thanks, Brian, I think. All right. You know what, PJ? If you get the time, pull out, step out, and stare at the ocean for a couple minutes. I swear to God, it makes you feel better. I guarantee you, Dan, that whatever KRQR is in Chico is not the same, if there is one. I'm sus on that. The stream keeps bringing up the O Snap page. Justine, you are the only one. I swear. No one else has ever had problems with it. Oh, shit. Gotta go. All right. Talk to you guys tomorrow if you're here. I'll try and tap in around 5.